Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. Sober Experience. Everybody knows the deal. I hope you guys are doing good out there. I'm gonna put on a little bit of music, kind of set the tone. This is the 10-foot ganja plant. Bell Star is the name of the record. I really like this song. I hope you do too. It'll put you in a good mood. Yup. Let yourself go. Yeah. All right. All right, let me lower that. Put it over there in the corner a little bit. I'll leave it there maybe. See what the deal is. Yeah. There we go. We can just do that. Okay. So, I hope everybody's doing good. I know there's a lot of crazy town out there. You know, holidays are coming. The world is getting crazier by the fucking day. You know, who do you talk to? Who do you not talk to? Right? All that stuff is like, it's almost like, I wouldn't say it's overwhelming, but, you know, sometimes it's like, you know, I don't want the responsibility of dealing with everybody, but I want all the joy of dealing with everybody. You know, whether it's my family or not. A lot of things that I perceive to be like an inconvenience are really, you know, I don't know. I've always been aware of this, that doing the shit that I try to avoid is a lot of times is really good for me. And, you know, what I should avoid is trying to avoid those things. You know, trying to, you know, whatever. Procrastination, that's the name of the game. You know what I'm saying? And I can sit there and procrastinate and scroll through my phone and go online and like, dude, there's nothing, you know, right now, it's just like a lot of poison online, man. It's just a lot of poison. And it sucks, man. In part, I'm a little bit, you know, because I'm so far removed that I don't want to seem apathetic. Right? I don't. But there's a lot of people eating a lot of humble pie at the moment. You know, I saw this headline the other day, and it was like perfect. And where was it? Because it was like on one of these news shows that I listened to. Hold on. It was on Crystal and Saga, Breaking Points. Yeah, I get it. You know, I do. It's like the cool thing, I guess, to not do like mainstream media. And I haven't done mainstream media in so friggin' long. You know, that, let me just make sure this is playing in like sequential order. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. We can just do that. Oh, that's a good one, man. Anyway, so point is this. It said Biden humiliated as Israel rejects pause. You know? Yeah. Like, you know, I guess Secretary of State's out there saying, listen, we need a pause so we can get some humanitarian shit in there because they're feeling the pressure, boy. Yeah, man. They're feeling that pressure. And he didn't even leave Israel by the time they were like, no, there is no pause. There is no pause, you know? And it was wild, man. And it was good because, like, you know, there are people who have a false sense of reality, a false sense of security. And what is it like to be like, I'm seeing like a lot of God consciousness. And that's the good stuff. Yeah, people are like, yo, man, people are suffering. And this is kind of like almost like a George Floyd kind of thing where people are suffering for so long and one thing happens, good or bad. Look, there are people who believe that George Floyd died of an overdose. Even if he did, he died of an overdose with a guy on his fucking neck. So there's that. You know, there's that. And you can't make the case of an overdose with the guy when you got a guy under your fucking knee. You just can't. So there was a time where you couldn't make a case for, you know, what's going on in Israel, right? You couldn't make a case because it's just like, yo, man, the terrorists went in there and they kidnapped people and they did horrible shit. And you're just like, man, like Jay-Z, everything was all good just a week ago. And then who would have thought that because of the information age that this would be, you know, that this would turn into a whole world of empathy. You know, no one is, I don't know anybody saying what those guys did was right. But, you know, the reaction can't be whatever they want. It can't just be the reaction. And I don't know what to do. I'm down with what Jocko was talking about. If you guys want a really good, if you're interested in that kind of thing, Jocko did an episode. It's on YouTube. You could find it. Let me see. I know it because I sent it to my son. Because I try to send shit to my son that I think he's gonna. It's called Unraveling. Unraveling 39. No exit. That's the episode with Jocko. He did it with this other guy. I keep forgetting his fucking name. Anyway, these guys are close to the situation in experience. Darrell Cooper. Darrell Cooper has a couple of shows and whatever. Anyway, so but Jocko was just talking about like, yo, like, you know, it's a crazy thing. And there's only, you know, what he would do, which is who knows if that's the right thing or not. You know, but let me pause this. I'll even play it. Even though this will be like the last minute or two that I spend on this kind of thing, and we'll go get somewhere else. All right, so just stand by. I'm sorry, because I thought it was very poignant. Hammer, because Hammer sent it to me, even though I think I had already heard it already. Let's see. All right, stand by. Boom, boom, boom. All right. There's a couple of commercials because I don't subscribe to YouTube Red because I don't give a shit. You know. Let's see. Because Crystal and Saga were talking about it and they played the clip. Here we go.
Like anything that I've heard yet before, I wanted to play for everybody. Let's take a listen.
That immediate military action that they took was really good. It was a good, solid military action that they took quickly. At this juncture, you know, I think it's going to be, and I think I would, like you said, I already kind of said what I'd be doing. I would probably stop bombing Gaza right now. There's people in tunnels. The enemy's, you're not killing bad guys at this juncture with airstrikes. So what you're doing is just destroying the city, and you're giving Hamas opportunities to win the information operations. If I was emperor of Israel right now, we would be annihilating on the information operations. We would be doing humanitarian missions.
You showed me a video of the aftermath of some strikes on Hamas. It was just, a wasteland. And the first thing I thought, whenever I see something like that, as somebody who has combat experience as a soldier, when you see a landscape like that, knowing that there's tunnels throughout the area and everything, what are you thinking when you look at that?
It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. And that's why, like, even, again, going to the emperor position, I would not be super excited to roll in there and start hunting for Hamas with my troops. I'm going to take a lot of casualties. I'm going to take a ton of... You want to start talking about clearing, what do they say, 300 miles of tunnels is what's down there? Yeah. 300 miles of tunnels. 300 miles of tunnels. This, to me, turns into siege warfare. And I start doing siege warfare with this overarching idea of benevolence to take care of the civilian populace and show them that we will help. We are here. We want to figure out a peaceful solution to this. We're going to help you out, and we're going to starve and crush Hamas. And you don't want to get starved and crushed? Cool. Come to this location at this time. And I know it sucks, but that is how you actually get the other side to see your perspective a little bit as well.
The first thing that has to happen if you're going to win those hearts and minds, though, right, is you have to destroy Hamas. Just like when you were in Ramadi, you could drill all the wells and do all the things you wanted. None of that matters if you don't kill the jihadists in that city.
So the reason I thought that was interesting, I'm curious for your perspective, Chris.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting also. That was it's funny, 429,000 views of that. Let's go back to the dub session. That way we can bring a little bit back of some good energy. But what he's talking about is like, hey, listen, we're gonna have to, slaughter the fucking enemy, and the enemy is, the enemy is the terrorists. It's not the regular Palestinian people. They're just not the enemy. There's civilians there. So they say, hey, listen, man. This guy, Jocko, he was in Iraq, so he knows a lot about what went right and what went wrong. He's like, yo, man, are you going to try and help the people? Or you're going to try and kill the people? You can't do both, You can't do both. And it's a sad situation. And it's gotten so crazy that people are like literally, they're losing, they're going to lose friendships and family members and shit over this the same way they did with fucking Orange Boy Trump. People were like, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. How dare you vote for Donald Trump? Or how dare you be different? That's the enemy. How dare you be different? Like somebody else's experience doesn't matter, And that's like the enemy of all things that are good on this earth. There are animals on both sides of every conflict. America has so much blood on its hands. Israel has so much blood on its hands. The Palestinian bad guys have so much blood on their hands. Like people to every country. I listened to the whole episode and it was really good. So I implore anybody to go back and check it out. It's again episode number 39. I'll read it again and then I'll shut up. But it's called Jocko Unraveling 39. Yeah, and they're talking about like what's the truth, that this battle started in an old time and now we're at a different time. It started 70 years ago, 60 years ago, 40 years ago, like all these things. But now it's a different time, man. Now there's kids over there, and you're going to just hold them so accountable, and how do you just live like that? How do you just live like that? It's just so, there's things that, people in my family have done that everybody's done that you got to get over. You just got to just like let it go, man. You got to let it go. And I find that, holiday times as they're coming up, we're almost at Thanksgiving. I'm going down to Texas this week and this weekend. I'll ask my wife, the new travel agent, when we're leaving. But like, yeah, man, there's shit that goes on that like my son has done, that I have done, my wife has done, my son's girlfriend has done, my kids have done. Like everybody, nobody's perfect, man. And there always has to be that room. And the hope is that if you leave room for somebody else to get redemption, then when you need it, it's very hard for somebody to not remember that if they're being honest with themselves. And that's a concept that I learned in AA. I just thought everybody had like all these vendettas with each other, And it's that's how I was raised. That's how my life was. I never let anything go. I never let anything slide. I might have thought that I did. I mean, I never thought that I did. I might have let you think that I did, but I was just plotting and planning to get my little revenge. Meanwhile, all I'm doing is just whipping my own ass and wasting my own time by having that kind of energy, of just vendettas, just so much judgment. So much judgment. I'm going to read from the Hazelton book today. It's called Thought for the Day. I read it once over a skim and I was like, oh, this is pretty good. So, I'm trying to find something constructive to talk about in the midst of all this insanity. And like I said, what I do love in my life is the hypocrisy when it gets pointed out and all the humility. Yeah, man, not everybody's down with what's going on the Israeli side. They're going to have to do things a different way. It doesn't mean that you're not down with Israel, but like, bro, we're going to start sending billions of dollars and all kind of shit. We can get dragged into something more than we even really want to. And what's going to happen? There's egg on these other people's faces at the moment. All of the powers that be. All of like there's super liberal media, right? Who believes that their liberal constituents are pro-Israel, and they are finding out that they are not. Because that's how woke some people are. And it's not even a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. I'm not anti-Israel on any level. I'm anti-oppression. But we're all going to find out right away how oppressed we all really are. Because what's happening is the they, thems, the powers, the people who really run this planet and the governments and all this other shit, they're about to give you a 1,000,000% I don't give a fuck in your face. I don't care how much you march. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you do. We have our own interest and our own agenda. And that's what Israel just told the United States. Like, no, there is no pause. And then allegedly, they bombed a caravan of ambulances, and then, there was like a refugee camp that a bomb dropped on or whatever. I don't know how many casualties they have already, but, Hamas has all these hostages, and Israel, so far has killed thousands of people. Thousands. And that's the truth. And that's just how it goes. So, all right. So here's the thought of the day. Enough of that shit. I'm sorry. But, I just feel like I have to address those things, man. Yeah. All right. So thought for the day. I can do things that I never did before. Liquor took away my initiative and my ambition. I couldn't get up the steam to start anything. I let things slide When I was drunk, I was too inert to even comb my hair. Now I sit down and do something. I can write letters that need to be written. I can make phone calls that should be made. I can work in my garden. I can pursue my hobbies. I have the urge to create something. That creative urge that was completely stifled by alcohol. I am free to achieve again. Have I recovered my initiative? Meditation of the day. In thy presence is fullness of joy. Thy right hand, well, I hate when they do those thys, these, whatever. Like, whatever. Thy right hand are pleasures forever. We cannot find true happiness by looking for it. Seeking pleasure does not bring happiness in the long run, only disillusionment. That's pretty heavy. Do not seek to have this fullness of joy by seeking pleasure. It cannot be done that way. Happiness is a byproduct of living the right kind of life. True happiness comes from a result of living in all respects the way you believe God wants you to live with regard to yourself and to other people. Pretty good. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may, I pray I may not always seek pleasure as the goal. I pray that I may be content with the happiness that comes when I do the right thing. That's a Hazelton thought for today, which is November 4th. And it's funny because, like, you know, I have all these, these impulses, you know, to react and respond to life in all these strange ways. And not, I shouldn't say strange ways, but ways that are not always very effective. You know, I had a couple of conflicts this week. I'll talk about, there's conflicts all the time because I live in a life where there's going to be conflicts, which is okay. It's about how I deal with them, how I handle them, right? Here we go. So, one of my kids, the older one, not the oldest, but the older one, Adrian, they, whatever, they smoke cigarettes and they smoke pot, but they're not allowed to smoke in the house, even though I know they be sneaking it sometimes. And, you know, they're like, they're of that age of, it's like, if you don't catch me doing it, it never happened, which is like insanity, you know. It's just, but I get it because I used to be young too, but they're 24 and I was 24 when I got sober also, even though they're not even close to trying to do something like that, right? I don't even know if they have an alcohol and drug problem. I know that they have a life and choice-making problem, which is, I think, what most young people have. Either way. So we had like a thing with the neighbor because, you know, they go outside on the small terrace that we have. And we live in attached houses. So the neighbor, his terrace is attached to ours. And like he sends me a message in the summertime, whatever. You know, he went outside and asked them not to smoke cigarettes or weed over there because it was going into his house. It was, he has this air conditioner in the window there. So I'm sure it's going through the air conditioner into his fucking crib. I don't know. Either way, I have such a busy life. I'm like never home, so I don't know about these things. He hits me up and, they weren't very nice to him. They were like, they basically told him, yo, close your window if the smoke is bothering you. You know, he didn't take that very kindly. Hey, he's older than me. He doesn't like kids talking to him like that, and he's a big Italian goon. Yeah. Right. So, my wife talks to them. I was like, yo, find out what's going on and tell them, whatever, to just fucking chill out or something, or to not smoke up there or whatever. This problem, I don't need to be involved. Even he messaged me and I gave the assignment to my wife because my wife does not allow me to discipline the two girls, the 2 days. You know, she just doesn't. And she'll take my consideration, but she does the disciplining. And that's just kind of how it goes. Anyway, so they've, So they've been going outside and smoking, but if they allegedly, because I'm not home, if they see the window open, they just don't do it. And they go do something or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, point is, he sends me this crazy fucking message, right? I'm going to read it to you guys. Here we go. Boom. Right? He tells me, he says, let me ask you a question. How neighborly is it for me to smell marijuana and cigarettes almost every other day when I open my balcony to get fresh air? Let me know so I can understand. I see that he's already angry, right? This is on Tuesday. I said, and I asked him, is it still coming in to your house? He says, I don't know what your daughter-in-law, which he doesn't know my stepdaughter, has against me. Even though she does see me, she doesn't stop smoking. She just sits there like I don't exist. I'm a good man. I have no problems with anybody, but I'm sick and tired of smelling weed and cigarettes all the time. It's too much. Right? And my wheels start spinning, right? Because I'm right away. I'm like, okay, well, number one, why are you texting me about this kind of shit? We know each other. As neighbors know each other. We say hi, we say bye, we talk shit a little bit. We talk about the gym. He sends me shit on Instagram, like videos. I send him videos. We're cool. I'm like, why? So I was like, look, in my mind, I'm already getting angry. And I'm just like, yeah, but, that's your space. And we have our own space. What if it's my fucking wife that wants to go out there and smoke cigarettes? You telling me my wife can't smoke cigarettes on the fucking terrace that we fucking pay for? Is that what you're trying to tell me? That I'm going to have to tell my wife to fucking not do that? Right? Making up all these fictitious stories in my brain to get me angry so I can justify aggression or justify my anger or whatever. Who knows? Right? But I'm playing all these stories thinking about what I'm going to say to him. Right? But then I was just like, hey, I said, I think it's better that we talk about it so I'm understanding what's going on clearly, is what I told him. I said, I'm headed to a meeting, which I was, my Tuesday meeting, AA. I said, I'll hit you up when I get back. What's your number? I'll call you, and then we can meet outside and talk. Right? And then I go to the meeting, and I was a little bit anxious because, it's confrontation. Because I'm like, yo, but I'm trying to handle it as graciously as I can. Because I don't want to get into a fight with my fucking neighbor, because I don't know how other people solve problems, but, that's one way that people solve problems that I don't want to have, So, whatever. I asked, I spoke about it at the meeting, and they're like, yeah, I said, and people were like not trying to play devil's advocate, but trying to have me be humble enough to see both sides and be like, hey, listen, what if you were next to somebody and that shit was coming in your house? You got every right to be mad too. And I said, I understand. And he's right. He's right. And so because my kid doesn't have to 100% smoke out there. Now they have the right. So it's almost like, I asked my wife, I said, listen, go talk to the kid. Tell them, look, if they want to smoke, they're going to have to go all the way downstairs now, which is not that far. I mean, we're on the third floor. Walk up, it's actually down 2 flights of stairs. 1 flight to get out of the apartment, 1 flight to get from that stoop all the way to the ground floor. So 2 flights of stairs to go smoke a cigarette and go smoke some pot. I live near plenty of parks. I live near the water. That's the deal. And I smoke cigars, but I only go out there once every couple of weeks, maybe. Either way. And I didn't feel like it was necessary for me to just have to teach my kid, like, hey, listen, this is the way to be a good human. Like, you have your space, they have their space, but if your space starts to impede on their space, you're going to have to respect their space as a human. But they just complied, and they're like, all right, I'm going downstairs, and that's it. But I was angry for about maybe 20 minutes, angry and anxious at the same time. But, it's not even cooler heads prevail. But the point is also, I think I threw him off by not matching the aggression instinctively. Even though I was matching it in my brain, I was going over it. But my invitation for him to have a conversation he just went radio silent. He didn't even respond. And I know he saw the message. It says seen. He didn't even respond. And then like 2 days later, which was on Thursday, he sends me a fucking video like we never had a fucking thing, you know? And I haven't responded to that. Now I'm being petty wop. But, you know, because I don't like all the texting thing. I don't have texting wars with my wife. You know, I don't know how people have them. I know how I used to have them, but I don't know. Basically, it's not that I don't know how people have them because maybe I'm like this evolved whatever. But I don't know how people have not grown out of having them. It's like, bro, man, like these text messages and all this DMs or whatever, they can be interpreted any way. And I just rather have regular conversation. Like, yo, we'll talk about it. You know, and then that's it. And we'll both do our... Because everybody has a whole different energy when you're in front of them. I had a client, same way. This is the whole story. And, you know, I'm still not... I was angry enough that it actually kept me up a little bit at night. You know? Anyway, so this lady calls and she's like, I'm going out to, you know, Park Slope lady. She's going out to the Hamptons and she's going out there for like a week or two. And she has this big Moroccan rug that her little ass dog has pissed all over the fucking rug and it stinks. 1 day's notice, I say, okay, this is the price. I go there, I drag it out of the house. Right? I bring it to the shop. We start washing the rug. And I don't want to get super technical, but let me tell you, this is how these things work. So there's no way to really tell where all of the pee is. So you wash the whole rug and you soak the whole thing out. Now, if you're allowing your dog to pee all over your rug, you know, it's going to cause damage. It's going to cause problems. So the rug is white and it has like this brown design on it. It's not that fancy, but they're a nice rug. It's a Benny Rain Moroccan rug. It's pretty big. So I get the urine out. I soak the urine out. But what happens is the urine itself actually damages the color of some parts of the rug. And there's no way to tell until after you're washing it. So I wash it. The rug... The color gets fucked up in some areas. Right? And I'm like, okay. You know. All right. So I have my guy, the guy who works with this is what I should have done, what I didn't do. But it was already too late. I already washed the rug completely. I had my guy go and touch up the color, and we got it pretty good. We got it maybe 80%, 90%. Right? Anyway, I bring the rug back to her, and I explain to her as I'm installing the rug, like, here's what happens. Like, your dog, and the husband is there, and the husband is like, bro, we need to throw out the fucking dog. You know, because this dog fucking ruined this fucking rug and this and that and whatever. And so I explained to her what happened, and we did our best to fix it. Right? I think the whole bill, whatever, it was a big rug. Like 9x12 or whatever. The whole thing, I think it was like $700 or something, $650. She starts fucking bitching and complaining. You fucking damaged the rug and this and that and blah, blah, blah. I'm not happy. And I explained to her and I say, listen, your rug was already damaged and we tried to fix it. Now, we didn't know the severity of the damage until we were trying to fix it. So I said, and this is an unforeseen event, and we did our best to try and fix it even after that damage, you know? After some of the colors bled, we fixed it as best we could. But the rug, the dog fucked up the rug. And she's like, no, I want all my money back. I was like, no. She's like, yeah, I want all my money back, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no. It's like, no, and then I was like, let me get this lady out of my fucking life. So this I explained to you step by step what happened, and I'll give you half of the money back because we have a policy, we don't work for free. I'll give you half of it back. This was a few weeks ago. So she sends me a text again. She probably went on Google or YouTube or whatever and was like, you know, oh no, I want the rest of my money back because he should have did this, this, and this, right? So she sends me a message, I want a full refund. And I was like, she's like, you basically saying that I was dishonest because this is what she said. Sorry, I'll get a little bit technical. She's like, no, you could have known that the colors were going to run if you would have tested the colors in a small area. And she's like, if I was washing the rug and I saw that the colors were running, I would have stopped right away. And I was like, no, because if the colors of the rug were unstable, the whole rug would have run, not just the areas where you neglected to take care of the rug and let your dog pee all over the rug. Like if it's something that I did, the problem would be everywhere, not just in those areas. And she's going back and forth with me, and then I was just like, you know what? I was so angry. I was like, all right, I'll give you a refund next week. That's what I told her. And I'm like, then I say to myself, because I just wanted to pacify the problem. I just wanted to just like, yo, bro, for $350, get this fucking lady out of my life. And then now I'm wrestling with like, yo, I should hit her up this week and be like, you know what? I thought about it again, and I'm not giving you the rest of the money back. You're not going to call me anyway. And you thinking that because then I told her, I was explaining to her the part why she's wrong. And I said, but I'm not going to teach a class to you because you're talking to me like, yo, the level of entitlement that this fucking lady had. The way she was talking to me, if I don't want to bring it up on my phone and go line for line because I'll get angry again. Even with this beautiful dub music, I'm getting worked up. So the high road is like, yo, I give her the other $350 back and whatever, right? And then she doesn't contact me again. Or I ask myself, well, how do I want to be? Because I can just be like, no, you know what? I fucking dragged this rug out of your house on one day's notice in the rain, brought it here and tried to fix it. And you think I should do all of that for free? That's what you think? Fucking no. And part of me wants to I don't know if I want to teach her a lesson or if I want to stand up for myself. It's a hard decision sometimes, because I know if I just say no, I'm inviting a problem, because she's not gonna stop texting, and then she's gonna go online and she's gonna leave me a 1-star review, which is fine. In my mind, if she does that, I will respond, explain, and it will be a teachable moment for everybody else. So if anybody reads that review and they side with her, beautiful. I don't want them to call me anyway. But if they read that review and then they see my response, they're like, okay, this is how sometimes these things could happen. And then they'll call me. Yeah, because I gave her half the money. I didn't have to give her the whole money because we don't work for free. I think I just made that decision. But sounds good to me, but I'm still going to have to run it by my sponsor, and I'll talk to my wife about it, see what she says. Because, man, I just hate it when people try to get over on me, when I'm trying to do the right thing. But if I'm being honest with myself, I don't know. I do know. I do know that I did not spend most of my life with that virtue of living the right way. Everything was about me. When is it my turn? How can I make more? How can I be greedy? I wasn't even a thought process. It was just the way that I was. I took from everybody. That's what I did. And then sometimes I think in these situations, is this God telling me, hey, fuck face, you gotta pay what you owe. It doesn't mean I let everybody jerk me around. It doesn't happen all the time. When it happens, am I supposed to let it go? I don't know. It's like is this going to serve me in any way? You know, should I feel less about myself because somebody else is wrong about me? I don't know. But this is why I love this life. This is why I love you guys. You know, it's always growth. Growth is painful. You know? Yeah. If I'm going to feel less about myself because somebody's calling me a thief, even though I didn't steal, then I can just let them be wrong. You know? Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. I'll give you guys an update next week. Either way, thank you for joining us on the Sober Experience. Please like and subscribe on all podcast platforms. Share this episode and all episodes with all of your friends and family, even the ones that are going to be angry. My anniversary, 20 years, was on the 29th. I am celebrating on November 20th at the Greenwood Group, the Whale Room. Everybody knows where it's at, in Park Slope. Come on down, and we'll see you on the flip side. I love you. Peace.